Hi everyone, this is Georgia Ambarian. I'm here with Peter Shank, as you know, who is the inventor and owner of modern day Mystic. And we're here today to talk about the DNA Alter 2. And Peter, I have to say, this product is got so many levels in which it's working. It's got so many pieces, right? I think out of all the products you've ever had, this one probably has the most parts and pieces. The cool thing about it is people can put it together in a way that really speaks to them. So I also think this is one of the products that people should really learn to trust themselves with, maybe more so than any other product that you have. The others all have a way that they work with you, and you have to kind of grow in symbiosis with them, to know how to use them properly. But this one, even for myself, because I've had it for I want to say like 6 weeks, 7 weeks maybe. And as I work with it, what I'm doing is changing and new information's always coming in. So I'm super excited about this. Can you tell us a little bit about how this product came to be and why it has so many parts?
Sure. So typically the way I work is, so just because you have an amazing idea in your head doesn't mean that's going to translate out into a viable product down the line, right? And I have a lot of ideas in my head, but you have to understand the scope, what it's going to do. So in the diverse product lines in MDM and what we have, a product will never make it to a version 2 and or even a version 3 unless it's doing some amazing things for people in the first iteration. So the first iteration had 2 production runs and they were wildly popular. They were helping people to heal their body in ways that no other product at the time that we've had was able to do. And the way it works is that the whole premise of the first generation, and then of course became the second. I'm just kind of building up what the first does, so we can roll into the second. Was that you don't want to, much like Aquaware and Aquasync and all the software that supports that platform. You never want to directly program water within the body because water within the body vibrates at different levels to support body functionality, organs, and all that kind of stuff. So the same school of thought was happening with the DNA alter version 1, where I didn't want you to go directly into your DNA with something as powerful as that, because who knows what will happen. So what we did was we used the energy of the DNA as the catalyst to kind of bring the changes about gradually within the body, because the human body is much more susceptible to accept energy than a direct energy focus. So when we're dealing with the energy, it's much more palatable and allows the change to happen quicker. So in the first iteration, you would go through kind of like a guided meditation where you zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, you see the DNA, the telomeres, and all that kind of stuff, and then boom, you hit it with what you feel in your body. Second gen is uses the same type of technology, but it's way more diverse, right? There's so much more going on. I wanted to take the best pieces of other products that we created, other diverse product lines, and kind of bring them home in this. And there's 14 individual crystal pieces, 7 bases, 7 spheres. Then there's 6 very small 2 to 3 millimeter, 1 to 3 millimeter emeralds, and then of course a beautiful ruby that kind of sits underneath there. So you add all that up, and you're at what 20, 21 pieces. So it's by far the biggest one, diverse product I've ever created. Sure.
For sure. If people are paying attention at all, they notice that in the public domain, there's a lot more talk about DNA these days, right? And where did DNA actually get all of its information? And maybe all the sources of our DNA and what they are and how they work. Is there any like secret squirrel information you think would be helpful to us? I know sometimes you in particular get information that most of humanity cannot currently process, and I understand that completely. But is there some little nugget that you can share with us that will help us get there?
My first impulse was to be extremely negative with the information that's coming out about the DNA, but I'm not going to do that. So the DNA contains memories of everywhere you were, where you are, where you will be across every infinite time loop that there is. So when you are using a product like this, you are actually bringing in the form, the version of you that's already perfectly in being. You are crisscrossing timelines to heal, proceed to heal yourself, right? So much like quantum was 20 years ago, quantum this, quantum that, DNA starting to take the mantle. DNA this, DNA that. You can tell more of this. We have 3 to 5% that, and blah blah blah. It's all static. It doesn't mean anything. It's not. It's nonsense, right? And the beauty of the DNA alter version 2 is that it's super easy to use. It's super easy to understand. And the best part is it's intuitive. It's so intuitive. There is no right way, is no wrong way. There's only the perfect way to use it. And I could have called DNA, strawberry elephants. We're going to heal the body through strawberry elephant. Well, I just call it DNA because people resonate with that. But it's the energy of the DNA is what we're hitting.
Right. So I think, would it be accurate to say, because this is, of course, something I've been really working on since having the product and trying to understand on multiple levels. DNA is a lot of the like software programming that came in. Some people would call it karma, right? Karma isn't just our good and bad. Karma is the vibration of all things that have happened before and all things that will happen and all things currently happening. And the DNA seems to be this vehicle for which the information, the vibration, continues back and forth and helps us experience these different lifetimes. And so I'm super excited about it. What would you say if you're going to meet someone who hasn't used any of your products before, and this is the first product that they're getting in touch with? How would you like them to interact with it first?
Treat it like your soul. Okay. So the DNA, for all intents and purposes, is your soul because it contains all of your lifetimes, everything that you've done, very much like the astral plane, which is the first stop outside of consciousness where, amateurs and everybody else go to play with everything that was, is, and will be again. It's very much like your soul. So if you have a strong connection, visions of the past, so you kind of already intuitively resonate with the product. But always remember, you don't pick the product always picks you. If there's an innate calling as soon as you see it, then it's 100%. If there's not, and you're second guessing yourself, then the product's definitely not for you. You get much more use out of something that binds with you than you're trying to artificially bind with you. Um, so this is a great product first time out of the gate with any of the MDM products because you just feel it. And not only that, like look at the symmetrical pieces, right? I mean, it's just aesthetically, it's beautiful. I mean, there's just so much energy. You could just sit there and leave it on your table, and like I do behind me, and just walk by and go, ah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just that good. But when you put it to work for you, which is exactly what it's designed to do, and then it becomes mind bending.
So, out of absolute curiosity, what configuration do you have yours in currently? Do you have yours in a circle, a diamond, a line? How are you
So
using
I
yours
have it in
currently?
this, I have it in a pyramid.
Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Well, it's in the shape of a pyramid facing me, and with the amber crystal and the black base as the spearhead. The tip of the spear, because you're really going into areas that you've never transversed before with this type of spiritual technology. So, and in essence, you become, the spear tip that pushes through.
Nice. I've been when mine is static, mine tends to sit in a circle with the amber in the middle. But I will say recently, what I'd like to offer to all the people that have already bought the product. So, before we've created some meditations and some guidance for people who've never seen the products, and also give them like a little flavor, right, of what the products can offer. But I'm offering to all the people who follow you on here that have already bought the product that we will send them a meditation that I'm going to do that if you have the product in hand. And it feels like there's some beautiful things available to people if they just kind of set their mental mind, their thinking mind to the side and just receive that unknowable information in a way, right? The human brain can't actually process it. And so just being in that super receptive place. So I'm super excited to be able to help with that and make sure people get a great experience with this product and heal in ways that we don't normally talk about. Healing is so multi-leveled, right? We can have a whole nother conversation about that, but I think it's an amazing tool, a doorway in to information that the human brain isn't picking up on its own. But I think humanity is moving into that slide now. We're moving into that place where more and more people can get it, can see it, can feel it, and can use it. So I'm super excited about this product. What else do you have coming down the road real soon? Do you have anything, that's coming out in the next, say, 4 months?
So there's one product which is now being produced called the Trio of Life. I believe you've seen samples of those already. There you go. So these are three absolutely gorgeous laser engraved crystal amulets that you wear, which will do different things. And then I'm taking a plunge into an area that I'm super excited about. We are creating one of the coolest pendulums you've ever seen. So this is going to have crystals with laser 3D graving. You can take the tips off and put on different crystals on the bottom. It's going
Wow.
to have this absolutely insane game board with it. Now, whether we kind of use like the quantum this technology to do that or more traditional like rosewood with like a wood burning kind of thing, we don't know yet. But this is a product that'll be coming in probably the late or even third quarter of this year. Beyond that, we are experimenting with holograms that do really incredible stuff. So
Huh.
there's definitely a viable product in there. We also have Aqua Sync version 7 coming, which is going to be tightly integrated with AI on a couple different fronts within the software that's in there. If you've noticed, there's been some videos being released from the MDM team that are completely AI generated and AI generated characters. And the reason I really want to do this is because I want to keep it uniform and B take the AI technology. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you hear about AI. It's going to take over the world. Blah blah blah. It ain't happening. There's so much that needs to go into supporting AI that it's just not going to happen. But I traditionally always adopt new technology as fast and as early as I can. And AI is going to give AquaSync version 7 an insane boost. So it's going to be very, very cool.
Cool. Well, I think DNA and water and I think the amazing thing about AI is going to be how fast it can compute, right? It can take data that would take us decades before and make sense of it right away. I'm going to give you a quick thing that I had heard. It's actually about DNA, and I don't know if you followed this gentleman before. His name is Dr. David Sinclair. He's doing a lot of longevity work, but he was saying that they've now proven that each cell has, yes, of course, the working DNA, but each cell has an original backup copy of the perfect version of itself. And they're working on how to trigger it from a more mechanical standpoint. Obviously, you're working on how to trigger it from the DNA altar, but that was one of the coolest, most interesting facts. And they wouldn't have found that, and they wouldn't have found that key without AI deciphering all the data. So I think there's great ways to use it, and I'm excited about what's going to happen going
Well,
forward.
inherently, science is always behind the curve where
Mhm.
intuitive takes over, you know. And there's many examples out there of that. Um, I don't want to go into them now, but yeah, it's wild. It's definitely a wild field.
For sure, for sure. Well, I'm super excited. I hope everyone will at least take a look. And as you said, the most important thing think you've said on this interview today is if the product speaks to you, it speaks to you. You know right away. So anyone who sees this, go check out the product. You have great videos on YouTube and on your website about it. And I hope everyone takes a look. So thank you so much for today, Peter.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.